Bye. Sorry, I'm not sure who's on. If anybody comes on the, actually, I'm pretty good at stuff, but if anybody, can you guys hear me online? If anybody logs on outside of the VAs, would you mind letting me know?
Absolutely, Sarah.
I'm not going to share the screen because that's complicated, but if someone comes on, I will.
Awesome.
Thank you. Okay, so Ignite. I know a bunch of you have done Ignite before. I'm really excited for this Ignite because we have some of the best teachers coming in to do this, and I'm just beyond. Hello. Wow, I know. We're gonna need more tables. Okay. Next time I'll have it set out differently. So I know some of you guys have done Ignite before, and I know you haven't. It's always good to just keep on retaking Ignite because we have different teachers each time. There's a different teacher, there's a different perspective, and when we have a different perspective, it's all better reason to learn and absorb new stuff. So everybody who's here now, firstly, if you are committed to, it's okay if you're not, but if you're committed to this class and all 9 of them, raise your hand. I don't know yet. You don't know yet? Okay. Now, the reason that I'm asking is because if you're not committed to all 9 classes, I'm not going to be coming after you for doing all of the homework that we're doing. This whole course is to learn new things about real estate, but the best thing about Ignite is it's almost a coaching course where we get to hold you accountable to the things that are part of this course. And those are quite a few things. So 10 conversations a day. So we've realized in real estate that the more conversations that we have, the more dialogue we open with people about real estate and about ourselves, the higher likelihood we are to convert those leads in the future. So we ask everybody to have 10 conversations a day. So that's 50 a week. You think they can do that? Yes. A back and forth conversation doesn't have to be entirely about real estate. It just has to be a, hey, Andrew, how's it going? Good. Anything new going on?
No, that's not the top of my head.
There's one. Now, we hope that it will be more of a dialogue than that, but that is what we would like to see when it comes to conversation. So 10 conversations a day. It's easy to have. We have them at the grocery store. We have them over talking to our friends. We have them on the schoolyard if we're dropping off kids. We have them at our basketball games if we're playing basketball. I know Dylan, that's where he has all these conversations. We have them with doctors, teachers, everybody. So just have those conversations, 10 a day. I'd like you to record them. So I don't need details about it, but mark them down. Just give yourself a tick if you've had one. Give yourself a second one if you've got a second one. So then the goal is to 10 conversations a day, 1 note. So the notes, personalizing a note out to somebody. Just I'm doing 1 note a day because it's difficult. So by Thursday, when our next one is, today is Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday. So next Thursday, this Thursday, you should have had 20 conversations. It's nothing crazy. Half of you guys do that with your lead gen anyways. Your open houses on the weekend, there's 4 or 5 right there. And then 1 note a day. We had that really good conversation with a cold call or something. Write them a note. If you're not comfortable going to the dollar store and getting a thank you card and writing a thank you card, just send them a message. It was really great talking to you today. Something personal, something that puts you into their ear again. The hope is to add 1 contact to your database a day. Who here has not used Command yet? Haven't used Command yet? Okay. So the hope is to have 1 contact added to your Command a day, even if it's a friend, a doctor, whatever the case may be, but as much information as you can get. If you're not using Command and you're using your own database, that's nothing. But the goal is to put up to 200 people, more than 200 people, into your database, because with constant follow-up in conversations with those people, they should work out to be about 12 deals a day. So 10 conversations, 1 personalized note, 1 contact a day. How does everybody feel about that? Is that something that you feel that you can do? Does anybody not want me to hold them accountable for that? It's okay. All right. The next thing that I really like to do is social media. So social media conversations, we use it all the time. And sometimes we can get those messages out through social media. So every day, challenge yourself to do 10 likes of people's posts. That's easy. Like 10 likes. Okay. We like to do 5 comments a day on people's posts. So 5, hey, great, happy birthday. Oh, what a cute puppy. That's a theme. 5 comments a day. 1 personal message, if you can, which you can tie in with the notes if you want. But 1 personal message, hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you in forever. I just noticed that you had a new baby. Congratulations. And then, what was 0.5? I had 0.5 written down here and I can't remember what it was. A post? Daily post. Thank you. Probably written this down. So a daily post. So I put 0.5 because it doesn't have to be done every day. In fact, I think every day can sometimes be a little overwhelming. But a just listed, just sold, or a, hey, look at my puppy. People love animal posts. I get the most reactions after posting something for my dog, even my kids. So try to do a post every other day for yourself, just to get yourself moving on social media. So we have some awesome people. So Jay McNabb is coming in today at 1:30. He is going to be doing motivation and talking about the big why. And why it's important to have a big why. So this is the very first one. They're an hour and a half long. What will happen is 2.5 hours long. The first one, I'll come in and do 30 minutes at the beginning of each session, with the exception of one, because I'm going away. I'll come in for 30 minutes. I'm going to follow up with you guys and say, okay, how did all this stuff go? I'm going to take attendance and see who's still coming or not coming. So that's why I also asked if you guys were committed to coming. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you to pick an accountability partner in this group. Try not to do it with somebody on your team because I want to kind of put it out in the world. I'm also going to ask that accountability partner to call you and ask you where you are if you're not here. So take 5 minutes right now. In a minute, I'm going to go around the room. Actually, I'll do that first. I'd like to go around the room and introduce yourself. Introduce how long you've been in real estate. If you're new, amazing. You've been in real estate for 10, 15 years, amazing. And tell us about yourself. It doesn't have to be crazy. You can say, my name's Sarah. I'm coming up to 10 years in real estate. Before that, I did administration for real estate. I really like to teach. I really like to coach. I have 2 kids, 2 dogs, and I would stay at home all day. Here I am. So that's about me. Kelly.
Hi, I'm Kelly McAllister. I started real estate in February, and I joined Sarah Stevens and Melissa over there. And I'm from Aurelia. Before real estate, I was in network marketing and mindset coaching, and just really excited to dive in more to real estate. So,
my name's Stacy. I became official on the 23rd, so that's new. I am with Dylan Jarvis. It's going really, really well. Dylan and I and my kids play on the softball team together, which is really exciting. I have 3 kids. I did massage therapy for 25 years. And
You've already done your first deal.
I did my first deal on the 30th. It closed.
Yeah.
have a new buyer and listing hopefully going up tomorrow. So yeah, things are like in the flow. Yeah.
She also has sons that own an incredible moving company. Yeah, very reliable, really wonderful guys. They did my own personal move, and I can't say enough about them. So if you need movers,
Oh, that's really good.
her,
What's their company? Tell us.
Roland Brothers Moving.
honestly, they are, I cannot say enough about those guys. Like, they're really, you should be really proud of them. They've created a great business, and it's hard to find really good movers. So there's that. Anna?
Hello, everyone. My name is Anna. Tomorrow will be my 1 month in real estate. I also work for Ministry of Solicitor General as a compliance inspector. And I got the pleasure of working with Andrew and Sarah, Jamie as well, at 5 Points.
And Tara.
And Tara, sorry.
Oh, and Brendan.
Sorry, with the entire team. So yeah, I'm just getting started. Thank you.
And she's our first listing coming up hopefully next week.
Yes.
My name's Andrew. I started in 2017 and it's kind of a passion. So I work really super long hours. Usually I open the office and I'm here, it's closes because I love it. And yeah, we're a little team going, but I've got a runway to about, I was talking to you about this morning, about 24 months from now I'm out. So I'll probably, Sarah's taking over and I'll do friends and family deals, but it's time for somebody else to take the ball and run with it. But I'm super enjoying it. It's a lot of fun.
Allison.
My name's Allison. I know a lot of you in the room. I just passed my 19th year in real estate.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I got my license when I was 21, turning 22. Always been in the Simcoe County region. This is where I grew up. This is, yeah, Stomping Grounds.
Awesome.
Full time.
And part of the LC.
Part of the LC.
She was, I tried to volunteer her to teach me the night sessions, but she took initiative and found someone else to do it instead. Thank her, because Jane's here because of her.
I did track down and yes, moved Jake to speak. Yeah.
Chris.
I thought you were broke. I was like,
Oh.
Brooke, you have not been in real estate.
I'm gonna take that as speaker. Twice the age.
Better do the fun fact of yourself.
What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went and got acupuncture today. That was fun. Chris, been in the business for about 18 months. It's been a grind. Closed the deal today. Never give up on your dreams, guys. So I'm part of the Walker team. So Dave, Jen, Amanda, Alicia. Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's really good.
Fine, no fun fact.
Oh, fun fact. What fun fact?
Your best fun fact.
I was a professional wakeboarder and doing that.
Represented Canada.
Canada and Bogota, Colombia for the Pan American Championship.
Oh. Coolest fact ever.
Should still be there.
Brendan.
My name is Brennan, as Sarah just said. I've been in real estate for 2 years and a couple months, a month, something like that. Yeah, that's me.
It is May 14th. What deal are you on?
15.
15 deals this year. This guy gets on the phone and makes cold calls every single day. Every day he makes cold calls.
Yeah, I'm a robot.
Every single day, and he is going to be teaching our lead Jenny class because he's got a lot of these.
Hi, I'm Marlena. I've been in real estate close to 10 years now, and I'm newer to KW, joined in January. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You're awesome, so we're excited to have you. And she made the most beautiful decoration at Redwood, which I didn't think was possible to decorate. So
Did we win?
I think so.
I
But
do
they
think
never
she should have done
officially
that.
like told us, but I don't know.
it was,
We'll
it was
see
Yeah,
tomorrow.
pretty nice.
Yeah.
I'm Tara. I'm going into, I think, August will be entering my third year. Been a stay-at-home mom for a handful of years. Before that, I was in architecture as an architectural technologist. Yeah. Now that my kids are both in school, have more time to focus on real estate.
Tara's very good at social media, so if you ever have social media questions, she's the person out. And then there.
I've never been this nervous before.
Whatever.
Yeah, so it's been a while with Keller Williams, and I love Sarah.
Her always has an amazing smile on her face when she comes into the office. She's like infectious. Share.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I've been in real estate for about 15 years. New to Keller Williams, so that's why I haven't used Command yet, but do have follow bots, so maybe I'll still switch over. Fun fact, I ran Mother's Day 10K with my kids that are 11 on Sunday. And yeah, my kids finished and they did great. And
That's amazing.
yeah,
And then I can't get my door on my shirt.
yeah, I just wondered.
That's amazing. So cool. That's very good.
My name is Alyssa. I did not spend Mother's Day running. I and fed all kinds of people, and next year it's canceled. I also have 4 children. My oldest will be 22 tomorrow, which is exciting. And I have 2 teenage daughters, which is not exciting. I've built 2 successful businesses, and I'm new to real estate. I joined this year.
Amazing.
Yes.
My name is Annette. I've been in sales for 8 years as a manager, but I'm new to real estate, so I got my license a few weeks ago. So this is new, all very new.
You're gonna be great. And it's fun. We'll definitely keep you on your toes.
Hey everyone, my name is Damien Kerr. I've been a landlord for 3 years now, so that's what got me into real estate. Just got my license, so hopefully work with a lot of new people and make a lot of new friends. I do have a listing coming up in the next month in Acton. And if you're looking in that area, feel free to give me a call.
Nice.
I'm Drew. This is, I guess, just about a month now since I got my license in real estate. Prior to that, I was and still am a mortgage agent with Dominion Lending since 2020. And yeah, I'm excited to be on the real estate side now.
Hey everyone, I'm Jamie, Drew's younger brother. Hopefully the hat and mustache distinguish us. I've been doing real estate for like 6 months now. I was doing all the admin work for the 5 Points Group for about a year and a half before that. And yeah, that's been.
And Jamie and Drew are also on the phone every single day.
Or door knocking.
Or door knocking, yes. So, and I am volunteering Jamie if anybody wants to get out, and Jamie is out there and getting his exercise.
Oh yeah, get the steps in, guys. Let's get so let's do that.
Amazing.
Killer door knocker.
So now that we have all introduced ourselves, Chris, are you going to commit to all 9 classes? Would it be put on the spot?
I mean, I am pretty active in the market right now.
Perfect, so we have.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Thursday I'll be here. Tuesdays, Thursdays are great.
Awesome. So now that we've met everybody, go and find yourself an accountability partner, exchange phone numbers, exchange, not say one of the last one. It cannot be on your board. They have to be somebody new. So, you know, that
You're right, you're talking.
but go and find someone else in your accountability partner, name, phone number.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Actually, yeah.
At least I can give you a quote.
Depending on the. Social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. It is. Really, it's better.
So needs to be like, I go super busy with paperwork. I'm the reason that.
Every single one.
So it was going for that.
There's just even more like that. So I think the new one realized.
So I mean, yeah, and our guys use yeah, I can look by that, that's awesome. I need to, when I saw it, I thought yeah. Was Kobe Marshall, KW? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Like a townhouse, like it's like three, like something with like granny speaks and eats. So it's like another. Yeah.
They always 6 months later.
Various got calls and so on. I was just 40 grand. I was going on this draw. I tried not to eat those. Yes.
And that's kind of how I felt when I was
Just the regular.
And then I
It'll be good. Yeah, I gotta get them on my system. Yeah.
You have teeth, right? Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, I changed my mortgage name.
So we said yes. Yeah.
How many?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go. Start from scratch.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like I have. No, like, it's good. It's good out. Like-minded people that are all.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but thank you so much for volunteering.
One.
Yeah.
There.
Okay, moving on, moving up.
Right.
Oh, well, you wouldn't know, sir.
Very much.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
yeah, my child, that was even more exciting. My family at first birth.
I know, I'm contemplating. I get a slice of pizza, it's so like salad. Oh, that's okay. I have lunch with Yes, I get like, yes.
Team and they're like always. So he's just very, very, yeah.
I signed up to there.
Yeah.
Last year, we did it. We had so much. I played challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, bye.
I think they're doing like
Massages.
They're
doing that again? Yeah.
That's fine. Maybe we already talked.
Where are they hosting them?
Twice today. I was supposed to say it's a thousand today, but it didn't work. out, so- Well, I'm thinking that more.
I don't like.
Right.
She's still on. Yeah, she's tomorrow. Tomorrow at 1. I'm not.
You're going to get, yeah.
So I think it's great.
She's gonna do it, like I looked at.
Me
Oh,
too.
Oh,
Are you able to get your kid?
Yes.
Turn the phone down. My brother, my sections. Say hi.
I think it's actually like. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Right.
Never been easy. You've never been. All day, we drive to the next.
It's in here, I don't know.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, there's people that.
Yeah. I have my two. Yeah, I was gonna do this one. I'm also doing lots of great.
There.
Whoever you choose, you're gonna get to.
Yeah, this person.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we will start this up again. Can everyone see that? I know it's small. Is there like a workbook or something that we need to get access to be in this? There is a workbook that we can send out. We don't, when it comes to event, we have a tendency not to follow the exact, like, outline of the program, just because we have so many people, different people teaching it. So we ask the teachers to review the slideshows and kind of follow them, but a lot of Ignite is me coming in first and holding you guys all accountable, and then hearing how other people do their business and just taking what you can from them. So they're going to teach what they're supposed to teach, but they're not necessarily going to follow the guide to just give them.
So what about for like the homework and kind of that daily, just that list you gave us?
There is no guide. That is just,
Okay, just this is.
yeah, I'll see if I can find them for you.
Yeah.
If that's helpful.
Like even if we had like, yeah, just some way to kind of track and hold each other accountable, right?
Add the instructions to the Google event that everyone's added,
Yeah.
and then everyone kind of has it with. Whatever.
That's a great idea. So I will add it to everybody. Has everybody been invited to the Google event? Yes, that I sent out. Jamie just suggested that I add the information to that. So that's what I'll do. I'll add like the list of your homework.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same each time, 10 contacts a day, but that's gonna be the same. Okay. And the likes and all that stuff, but I can send anybody the actual student guide if you want it, but it's not really too much on topic. So we'll start. Well, okay. This course is supposed to be basically a launch for Keller Williams. So it goes into what Keller Williams is, which we don't really have to do because you were all here. You don't know it's also supposed to be sales pitch really for people I think coming into Keller Williams. So we can kind of skip past that part, but we can go on to the 6 personal perspectives. So commit to self-mastery, commit to the 80-20 principle. Does everybody know what the 80-20 principle is? 20% of the work you do produces 80% of the results. So even though Brennan, he's a good example, only spends 2 hours of his day on the phone making those cold calls, those 2 hours a day are his 20. It's what he does that produces 80% of his results. And then the follow-ups, I'm using you as an example, sorry, Brandon. And then the follow-up and everything else is equally as important, but focusing on what we have to do, which is lead gen. This job is selling houses, buying houses, but the real job is lead generation, because that sometimes is the most amount of work. And to get the business, because if you're not lead genning and you're not putting yourself aside for that, then you're not going to come to houses to buy yourself. So it's really important that we focus on that. Move from E to P, which is, I'll skip, oh no. E to P is not on here because, of course, oh yes it is. Entrepreneurial to purposeful. Is that what it is? Yeah, thank you. Moving to purposeful. So a lot of the times I notice that when we real estate agents, including myself, I am not innocent of this. We come into this business creating our business cards, our websites. We spend time making little flyers to hang in people's doors. We spend time making sure we have our door knockers organized and that our command is set up. And what we don't do is just go right out and do the stuff that makes us money. So I was said to myself, which I'm very guilty of, working for the sake of work, working for the sake of working, but not actually working. I was keeping myself busy, making my website, getting my branding done, which is all necessary. However, it's not what's gonna make us money. Sometimes we can go out with just a single business card. We don't have to have a whole flyer or a door knocker. The point is to get out and have these conversations, and that took me a really, really long time to learn. I spent pretty much my first 3 years working on nothing that's gonna make me money and just stuff that made me feel like I was doing something in real estate. So I really encourage you, you don't need it all done, work on it as you go, but make sure you time block yourself and give yourself 2 hours a day to lead gen. It doesn't have to be 5 days a week, that can burn you out. But 3 to 4 days a week, block on lead gen time. Lead gen time doesn't have to be picking up the phone and doing mojo phone calls. Lead gen time can be actively marketing an open house so that you have people coming into the open house. My lead gen time is some of the volunteer stuff that I do for my kids' house and beavers and all that. House of beavers, I make a point when I drop my kids off at any of their extracurricular events, I am having conversations with people. And the easiest way to get someone to ask you what you do for a living without being too sales pitchy is ask them what they do. What you do for a living. I am in car mechanics, and they're going to turn around and ask you what you're doing too. And I used this as a perfect example the other day when I was dropping my daughter off at Beavers. A gentleman was standing there talking about something. I asked him what he did, and then he asked me what I did, and then I gave him my card. And that was the easiest non-sales pitch way to start a conversation with this guy and him know what I'm doing conversation. One, check. So time block that lead gen time, whether it's picking, if you guys have kids, picking kids up on the schoolyard, if your kids are older, maybe being involved with their extracurriculars. Dylan Jarvis's lead gen time is basketball. Been going to his basketball, that's where he gets all of his business. He chats with everybody about it, but block that time block. And then all the rest of the time, you can fill in with doing other stuff. Make sure you're getting out the door and being purposeful, not just trying to create your business, your branding and such. Make being learning based the foundation of the action plan, of your action plan. So especially new coming into real estate, we can use the learning and going to realtor quests and all that stuff as networking. Just a reminder, like networking with other realtors and creating relationships with other realtors is also lead generating in its own way. So it's going to help you in, if it's local, you might not be creating referral partners, but having a healthy relationship with other real estate agents is so important because it also helps us get that deal done if we're ever working with them. So, and I was just talking about this 5 minutes ago, it is so important to have these healthy relationships so that when you come up against me in a negotiation, it's important that we have open communication, healthy communication to get the job done and do the right things for our clients. And so this is all learning, being here, listening to other real estate agents, listening to how other people do their business. It's all learning, networking with other real estate agents at Realtor Quest or going downtown and meeting people at Realtor Event. Turn that into your lead gen time. Bring your cards with you because referral business is huge. I would say most of my business actually is referral for relationships that I've built with agents that don't live in the area. And when you pick a referral partner who lives out of the area, make sure that you're who they're going to. So if you're sending your business to somebody in Hamilton, make sure that agent in Hamilton is sending that business back to you too if it's coming around and not another agent locally or whatever the case may be. Also know when you're getting into a referral relationship with another realtor out of town, they are like you or they are a quality agent. It's not just a, hey, I'm going to pick up the phone and John Smith who does this on the side decides that you're going to send your business to him. Those agents have to be a good representation of who you are as a real estate agent. So make sure you take the time to go through and meet the agents and talk to them. I have a conversation. My clients were moving it to Renfrew. I got 3 agents. I picked up the phone. I hadn't met any of them. So I picked up the phone to all 3 of them, had a conversation with all 3 of them. And then I wrote my clients a funny dating profile of each real estate agent saying, this is Sky, I think his name was. He likes Ron Box of Home Hardware, because I talked to each of them for about half an hour to get to know who they were, because I was sending my very good repeat clients and people who refer a lot of business to me out to them, and then I let my clients choose. So I had a conversation with these agents. I was very transparent that I'm speaking to many of them, and that I was going to be passing the information on. They went, they looked at their dating profiles, they had their own conversations, and then chose who they wanted to work with.
Just curious, what would my name go about?
Everybody's a middle finger when they talk about. Pardon?
Former wakeboarder.
Former wakeboarder. But that's exactly what it is. This guy likes long walks to Home Hardware, and then the other one that I had was, she's been in real estate for 25 years. She has worked closely with the mayor for this and that. Like, I made them a full profile, just so they understood who they were working with. Removing your limiting beliefs. This can't be more true. You can do anything, guys. Like, I know that we like say that you can do it. You can, and you can have the first 5 years being really crappy in real estate and then being really successful later. There is nothing that is stopping you. And I get there's a lot of moms with the kids. I have kids. It's hard. Kids get sick. I still do it. I can still do it. Tara still does it. Everyone, all of the women in here still do it. Like, it can be done. It is not easy, but it is possible. And I leverage what?
I just bumped her.
Oh. What I said.
I definitely did.
I leverage sometimes my own personal side of things. So for me, it's important to spend time with my kids when I am at home. I've leveraged my housekeeper. That was something that was important to me, and that might not be possible at the very beginning, but maybe you can leverage HelloFresh and have that delivered to save you from trying to come up with creative ideas to sell a house and make your dinner at night. So there's lots of ways to do this, but that's my biggest relatable one, is having to have kids and still do this. But does anybody else have like a limiting belief that is like hard for them? Yes.
So I would say similar to your story with the kids. My son, so this was back in 2020 when it was COVID, right? And my son, we were laying in bed because we always like to look at boats and cars on my phone. Just, he's probably like 7 at the time, right? And anyways, he said, Mom, let's look at those awards that you get from the real estate company. So I said, okay. So we pulled them up, and it had like, the really good award and then a double of that award and a triple of that award. He said, oh, I should always look at this award. He's like, why can't you get this award? Like the biggest one. That's that word. And I said, well, Liam, I can't. I said, I have you guys. I teach full time. I run a full-time real estate business. And Mommy and I run 5 other companies. We have all these apartment buildings. I said, I can't do 3 times the volume of sales and still have time for you guys and all these other things that my life is full with. And he said, okay, well, I believe in you. And so anyways, he went to sleep, and then I stayed up all night thinking, like, I tell him myself, right? So anyways, in the morning he wakes up and I was like, dude, I want to talk to you. He's like, yeah. I said, I thought about it hard last night, all the things you said to me. And I said, I'm going to try. I said, I'm going to try and get that more. And then 2 years later I did. And Alyssa was there when I got it. And, but it was, and I had a video from him saying, I believe you, Mom. And they played it at the award ceremony, right? It was like this full threaded together. Like it was, if you want to see, it's on my Instagram somewhere. But it's like for me, that was a huge thing. So when you talk about limiting beliefs,
Yeah.
I was like, consistently making whatever, the $300,000 a year, every year. Like I could do that, right? I got one award, then I got the next, then I got the next, then I got the next. And then it was like, he's telling me to get to $1 million. And I was like, it's impossible. But then I was like, what am I telling my kids if I'm telling them you can't do this? Right? So for me, sometimes you have to listen to the other people, because sometimes we do limit ourselves, but we have to listen to who's supporting us. Our team lead, our spouse, our kids. Like a 7-year-old kid coached me to, you know what I mean? Like think about it, right? But it's really, anyways, that connects.
Yeah, that's the most perfect example. Andrew,
I was just gonna say, like,
you also have 4 kids.
yeah,
Not also, but you have 4 kids.
you know, like, I hear all the time about, well, I'm bothering people.
Yeah.
And, someone originally said, you know, they're home and they're happy to hear from me, and if you kind of have that mindset as opposed to, oh, I'm bothering somebody, when they do finally pick up, most of the time they'll be, oh, I'm so sorry, I see you called me a couple of times, it's just, this is what's going on in my life. Thank you for staying on it, and now I'm ready to talk to you. And that happens more often than, oh, you didn't call me, you never called me again. The fact that you think that's what your mindset is, the bad part, but more often than not, once you try to push that out of your mind and become home and they're happy to hear from you, you'll find that other part, the good part, it's more the reality than the bad part.
And to speak to that point, and which is also a limiting belief, I went really big there at the beginning because that's the one I can relate to the most when it comes to kids and trying to balance doing this. But following up with their clients. A limiting belief is I don't want to bother them. Fun fact, we all have caller ID. If they don't want to talk to you, they're not going to answer. So just remember, like, if we see a call come in that we don't want to take, we screen it. If those people pick up the phone to talk to you, they want to hear from you and they want to talk to you. They could easily screen your call, and if they screen your call, no big deal. Try them again later. They might be making dinner. They may be on the phone with 80,000 people in a day and can't get to you right away. Try it again later. Follow up with the text. These are people that you know. Your name is going to be in their phone, and if they see you calling and they don't want to talk to you, they'll screen it. Easy. But that's like the biggest limiting belief for people is going like, well, they don't want to hear from me. Okay. So they won't answer then. It's not the end of the world. Just try them again later. So also being a good person and being a good realtor, and like Ian said, like we have things to add to their lives. We can be helpful in good quality real estate agents. And we're not all like that. I'd like to think that we would be, because it's people's biggest assets. But we aren't all like that. But we are, and Keller Williams is really amazing for attracting that culture, which I'm really grateful for. But you have something to add to them. You have something to bring to the table because of who you are. In my real estate, and learning how to do coaching stuff, that coach had said, when you go in there and you're trying to pitch who you are to a client, we all do professional photos, we all do this, we all do that. What's special about you? Who you are? Who are you as a person? Because a lot of the time it just comes down to who they like best. So who are you? Like, what do you do? And she made me go out of my way and write a little blurb about who I was, who I am as a person, and what I can bring to real estate. And I'm probably going to have you guys do that too, because I think that it's a really good activity. So when you're sitting at a table with a real estate client, and they say, "What makes you different?" What makes you different? Sure. Huh?
Put me on the spot.
You can feel that about
I think what makes me different is I come from the mortgage background. I have, a different perspective of, the finances and the financial aspect of home ownership. Personal, yeah, leave it at that.
Perfect. Terminator. I'm sorry, if you're not comfortable, I can move on.
I don't know, I'm really helpful.
Yeah.
I'm really helpful. People with whom I have dealt with, they approached my previous manager. That person who is really helpful. She goes out of her way to find out the answers of their questions. I'm always available. I would say it's the worst part because you're spoiling other people for that. One of my clients, she was talking to me until 3 o'clock, until the deal was done.
Yeah.
And as soon as she accepted the offer and everything was done, and she said, "Can I get out of this deal?"
Oh, no.
And I was like, "Yes, you can. You can take your deposit back, but seller can come after you because the offer is conditional." And that was the time when she said, "I think we should convert our relationship into a professional one. No more late night messages." And it was like, it was you asking me questions, and I was available there, and I didn't say anything. Closing was done successfully, but yeah, that relationship, which was very close, like a friend, that broke.
What did you do before real estate?
I began my career as a receptionist, and then full-time admin. Then I was doing bookkeeping, reconciling accounts of my company. I'm getting emotional. And I was performing all the managerial duties, pretty like Sarah.
You obviously.
I have been admired by more than 500 agents.
Wow.
Well, you did the right thing. You're looking after yourself.
Don't be sorry.
Right? Put yourself first. No, that's
Yeah.
good.
And you came to the right spot because.
We'll have lots of
Yes,
support.
I love it, honestly. I've never felt, I have mentioned this to Dave so many times. I think every time I come here, I feel that I've never felt that I'm a different culture, a different house, a company I work with, the people I've worked with almost 10 to 15 years. I never felt here as a stranger. It's just maybe that negativity is keeping me down and I cannot get out of that trauma. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry. You're not gonna get it here.
Yeah.
We're the most positive people, I think, and I'm pretty sure every single person in this room would offer their help and any value that we can.
I think that was not enough, and I had a listing recently, and Sarah was helping me on that, even though I was very much familiar, because I used to teach people like you, 20 people in the house, sometimes 35 people in the house. They used to come to see me and listen to me and asking questions, and I was ready to answer always. I had another experience that I had a listing in Canada, remember that? So many people approached me and they were all happy that you're back in here. But somehow it didn't work out. There are people who will lift you up. There are people who are pulling your legs down. And again, it was traumatic experience and I had to get out of there. And that was the reason each time I was about to come here, I was feeling that I'm going to break down here again. And
I think that might be a limiting belief for you.
I
That you're
just
not gonna
realized
get
when you were
this
talking.
Because you are gonna get support here.
And I think what you demonstrated was your ability to do exceptional client care
Yeah.
in that, like it matters to you. You're very focused on that. And that's a great selling proposition. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's, yeah. Perfect.
Yeah,
I think that's a great quality. Yeah. You have that you care so much.
Yes.
And you obviously do. It's good. And someone's gonna be very lucky to have her.
And just because one person doesn't appreciate it or see it doesn't mean 99% of the people. Right?
And there's
That's
just
one.
there's gonna be lots, there are gonna be lots of people that, you know, you can just flip them the bird. They're not really there.
Those are the ones you tend to focus the most on. Like you quickly forget all the good ones that do appreciate you, but it's
Yeah.
hard, like just mentally, like back to mindset, right? It's everything, sure.
Let's get back to the topic.
Anybody else have any, value, like what would, Allison? What would your sales pitch be? Your elevator speech, if you will. About you, who you are.
So instead of giving you my elevator speech, I'll say like the feedback that I usually get from clients after I've interviewed, and if they've interviewed other agents, usually it comes back with that they could feel how much I care, and it's a genuine desire to really come from a place of contribution and help. And I think you can see through people who maybe don't have that as like their core foundation. So usually that's what
I can see that. I can see how that would be something that somebody would say, like, because you agree to do that, even though you don't want to, because she, because she wants to host, so I tell her she has to. Anybody else? You probably have a really good one with your sales background.
Oh, no, don't put me on the spot.
Okay. And I will. I will.
I looked in here, I was like,
Yeah. Great sales person, and that's probably a really good value proposition.
I just wanted to add something that, like, I'm so new that I don't know if you guys already know this or what. But I'm on a team with April McEwen, and we just came together at the same time, and it's just been like two buddies. It's just great. So she had a listing at a cottage in Halliburton, but she's in Florida. So she calls and says, Stacy, can you do a showing for me for buyers that don't have an agent? So it's about an hour and 45, and I'm like, I'm on it. I'm just about to go door knocking. So I'm trying to keep this energy going. And I'm so new, I couldn't open the lockbox. I was gonna pee my pants. It was like, I'm going in here, I'm in. Man opens the lockbox, but I didn't. April was telling me about the place, and I'm trying to remember it, and he's asking me all these questions. And so I would just text April and get the answer like that. And so they've been looking for 2 years and didn't have a realtor. And so I just kept asking the questions of whatever they asked, right? And then at the end, she said, well, thank you very much for driving all this way. And I'm like, okay, this is where I go in, or what? I said, is there any way I can help you? Or, so anyways, I continued to talk after a little bit. Dylan has his cottage for sale. And I'm like, here's another listing if you'd like. And so I phoned the next day because April had an offer. And she goes, well, that's great. We're not going to buy it because of this reason. But if we find something, can we call you about it? Or would you help us look? You were the person, like, I've never wanted to call somebody back after. And it's because you got the answers for us right away. So I don't know how it works if somebody because all April wanted to do was sell the cottage, right? She's like, I just want to sell it. If you get a buyer, that's even better. So if we do show somebody something and it's not our house, like, are we allowed to contact that salesperson to have them like there so we can ask questions? So that's why I got them. I don't know how people usually do that stuff.
No, I don't think typically, the listing agent is there, but I usually have the sheet of the details. And I know Brian, when he's got a listing, he sends out the details to all the listing agents. So maybe for yourself, that's something to add to your listings for when other agents are there. You can send out a sheet with all the details about the property and all those commonly asked questions. Furnace, windows, roof, like that's something that Brennan adds that I think is.
Yeah, well, because it was a cottage, they're like, is this Are the neighbors, do the neighbors live here all the time? Are they here all the time? So it's not something that's normally on a listing sheet.
Yeah. So
So,
maybe making like a separate sheet is what I was with, Brian, he makes a separate sheet.
Right.
Asking all those questions, like those typical questions.
yeah,
How big is the septic? How, when does it get, like, how often do they need to have it pumped out?
Yeah, I'll make like a,
Yeah.
email, so whenever someone books a showing, I send this sheet to the the buyer agent, and has utility costs, septic, when it was done, if the well was redone, if the location of the well, location of the septic, so they don't have to call me constantly and ask all these questions. It's right there in front of them, so I don't get bombarded with questions.
but the asking was what got me the new client.
So if you know the key, I would say if you know the key things that they're looking for,
Yeah.
for my clients that get whatever the specific parameters are that aren't literally on the realtor info. And maybe just have those questions and call the agents prior to, and then so you can get the information, like if you're not getting a.
I tried to treat my brother.
Questions, but if you want to know, hey, if the neighbors live there year round, then just call every, my clients, it's really important to them. To the neighbors live there year round.
Right.
Or whatever, questions.
Right.
Just 5-minute call before you do all the showings, make your notes, and say, hey, I found this out for you,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Sometimes following up with answers is just a great way to continue to build the relationship with them.
Well, that's what it sounded like the people didn't do, the previous people just didn't follow up. And so you were talking about follow-up. And then, Brooke, Allison was saying that you really care about the good service. So I just kind of wanted to point out
That having that extra bit, that's a personal touch that you can add to where the appreciate it.
Yeah.
Accountable. I think this is probably the most important thing and the hardest thing to do in this industry is to be accountable for yourself. This can be, real estate can be really lonely if you're an independent agent. And people have asked, like, I heard that from somebody in this room the first time actually, about how lonely real estate can be, because we have to be accountable for ourselves. We have the ability to work from home. It's our choice to get up in the morning, get ready, get to our computer and to do those things. And if we're not accountable to ourselves, then we're not going to get it done. And my dad, who is in sales, he would get up every single day, he worked from home, put on his dress clothes, go downstairs, have a cereal, read the newspaper, and go back upstairs to his office and work. And he had to keep himself from going to meetings because our job during the day is coming in and doing what we're supposed to be doing. And if we're not accountable to ourselves, it's super easy to make those and stuff like Netflix. I do it, yes.
Just going off that, yesterday I was doing my cold calling and I cold zoning. Called someone and they were in sales as well, in their background is sales. So I literally had a good 10-minute conversation with this individual because he was so pleased and he was happy that what I was doing because he was used to that. He's like, you're doing a great job. And I did that as well. So good for you for getting on the phone and doing this stuff. I got a pretty good lead out of it. So
when I have salespeople come to my door and they're always like, sorry, well, so almost the first thing I say to them is good for you. Good for you to get out and do it, because it's hard. It is hard to get out and put your shoes on and go and knock on that first door. And that's what I'm saying. If somebody in this room does door knocking on a regular basis and they're willing to take on a shadow with them, please do, because getting it that very first time, I think is like the hardest thing to do. Like just knock on that door for the first time. It's really nerve-wracking, and I can probably almost promise you they're not going to answer anyways. That very first one. So it's the second one that you're like, okay, maybe they're going to answer for a little while I was door knocking. I was actually hoping nobody would answer because I was so nervous. But at least I was getting out there and doing it, which is pretty much the same as spending hours making your own website. You're getting out there and you're getting your steps in. But yeah, so being accountable is one of the hardest things to do. And in order to be accountable, I would recommend time blocking. So have that time, take a calendar and time block. Wake up in the morning and come up with a plan for yourself. Get up, make breakfast, get out the door, and I'm gonna make it to the office. I can't make it to the office until 9:30 because my kids don't get on the bus until 9. So my day starts at 9:30 when I get in the office. And then I sit down and try to go with my schedule. Like, Brendan, do you do phone calls around the same time every day? Say yes.
Yeah, around maybe 10. I don't want to bother people that early in the morning.
Yeah, it's hard to like call them at 9 o'clock, like right. when
No,
they're
that's
getting
too early. I don't get up.
Yeah, so coming in and time blocking your morning, and what's that? Who said eat the frog?
Oh, Shrine Tracy, eat that frog with what?
Yeah.
Mm.
Do the thing you need the most first thing in the morning. So like get into the office and go, okay, and make those phone calls first thing in the morning, make it happen right away, because it's done. And then the rest of your day, and you can get those 10 conversations that we're supposed to be doing every single day in within the first half an hour of your day. So that's it for the 6, which I think I 6 personal perspectives. And then past this talks a lot about KW. So what Red Day, which we all had, did everybody do something for Red Day? No. Something for Red Day. Did you guys do something for Red Day? Darn. Red Day was great this year. And it talks about Keller Williams' missions, visions, values, beliefs, perspectives, and our mission. So we, in the next 15 minutes, are going to have Jay McNabb here to give you guys the big why chat, and I think he's videographers here. So if you guys want 10 minutes, what? Take a breath.
Hey, come on.
Come back to the 1:30, and then Jake will be here to give you his big why speech. Great.
I was gonna say, where did you steal them from?
China.
Are you sure? 15 deals is cool. Like, that's not giving me 15 deals.
That's the thing, right? Everyone thinks you gotta have, you do something, you gotta have a nice Audi, blah, blah, blah. They think that person. And you think of the person that has the 2013 Jetta.
Right, I'm not sure if you see what I'm gonna roll around.
Yeah, it was a.
Millionaire next door.
Yeah.
It's all about that, like just.
I just started being with like, millionaires.
Yeah.
First thing they said, first thing they said in the book was, do the job that makes the most money, even if you hate that.
You're like, oh, I
And also, and Andrew,
You're getting rid of it?
He's cool.
Get out of it.
but I think you should. You'd be great at it. So, he's coming to save me from picking up my kids today.
Aww.
And we kind of match, which was
Yeah.
unintentional. That worked out. So,
Trying some things that are living.
Last night.
So how's that work?
Oh, thank you.
Anybody?
Yeah, I never got, it's like all this, like, I got like.
Thank you. Lucky day for me.
Yeah. No, I've always been up there, we just. There it is, so what happened is that when I was little, he played local, so it's in scope. And then, a couple seasons ago, so, people pulled the team, and, so.
yeah.
They were already fostered and they turned it into a team. So then technically, trying to think of like, absorb, weird thing over and then not sure why they did that, but
was a meeting.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
And so then last season, yeah, he did it, so we tried out for the regular way. Again, and then I guess this is a parent from well, and now that person.
Yeah, you're taking someone's spot.
They, well, right, so they knew that I was there
Say
to
right,
Yeah.
represent, so we got like a red flag. And then they were kind of worried, so we got swept over to finish up the season, but then we were kind of nervous. Like, oh, okay. Because they're gonna say. So anyway, you don't have to, somebody on the phone, they can do it on it, but that one was watching. So it was a bit of a, uphill battle trying to get the areas, because there was a big kind of shake up with AAA this year. So I just played out of the virtual area kids. So then he's, yeah, so they broke it down, so then we had 5 AAA kids trying to double it. And then those double A kids, and just like what, just dumped it, right? So for him to not know anything. Now, so like only he was a little bit now I go to some he said and I think he's going to for this summer. So I was going to start getting he's still so he's gonna have to like
Did you? Hopefully we don't show up one day at the same thing. So they probably don't have one of the same shirts. Nobody else I know this. So had things in their ears, but they were wonderful, but so what? Yeah. Now they're so, okay. Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And that team.
Oh, okay. And then, okay.
Then we went on a. And like just.
Yeah, yeah, I bet. I think it's It is like the best place you'll ever go. It's like the best experience. So it's like it's great to find and go to back and everything. It's all outdoors. They have smashed it. It's like they're like I've never actually had this. Everywhere else they say it's not burgers, but they use them. That's why they're $22. And they're not it should be $6. That is one nice thing. It's all like, they do that in course, but yeah.
Yeah, they probably five evaluations, but he's coming out for his first one. Yeah.
I was just there, it was awesome. Yeah.
That's way better. Right. So,
Yeah, later today, we're gonna be at the office. Oh, yeah.
Where's the, oh, I guess we can get my laptop.
I'm gonna be setting me up.
Oh, why don't we, yeah, why don't we, yeah.
Are you on like a freaking membership?
I just use.
Thank you.
Oh, shit.